In this chapter, we're going to do an abbreviated Maya interface tour. Now, halfway through the class may seem like a kind of odd and non-traditional place to do this, but the reason is because Maya is such a gigantic program that if we did the conventional thing and spent page after page of the book and video after video of these at the start showing you all these different features and functions and menus and windows and pull down, you'd have no context for it unless you're some sort of savant. So, that's just not reasonable, and you'd probably feel bad because you wouldn't remember any of it. I know I certainly wouldn't. So what we've done instead is to just introduce tools as we needed them through the first half of the course. Now we're going to come back and we're going to do a very abbreviated version of a interface tour over the next few sections, and just to kind of solidify the information that we've done so far in looking at different things, and we'll add a few more and then we'll use them immediately, because if we just show you something and never use it, it's not exactly likely to stay with you very long. So that's it. This is going to be largely review and maybe fill in a few of the details of some of the things we've just used in passing as we needed them. So the first thing we'll do is open Maya, come up here to our shortcut, okay, and first thing we're going to do is put a primitive object on the screen. So create polygon primitives, and let's do a cone, and we'll turn on the shading, we'll zoom in on it. Now let's talk about the attribute editor here. This is if you're someone who's into doing things by numbers, this is where we've been doing this. This is there's some people who just like to eyeball things, and some people who like to do them by numbers. Maybe it's a left brain, right brain thing. I don't know. You can decide that for yourself. But we've got a number of tabs here. We've tended to work in the first tab, which has the translate, rotate, and scale information. And we've also tend to work with a little bit with the channel box. Now, these buttons up here in the upper right-hand corner will turn on and off the attribute editor and the channel box. The first one here turns off the attribute editor, which leaves us with the channel box. Now, the channel box has a lot of the same information that the attribute editor has. It can be probably best thought of as the abbreviated version of the attribute editor, just the most common things that you're going to find in the attribute editor. It's turned on and off by this far right button up in the upper right hand corner here. So there, now they're both gone. Bring them back, bring them both back. And if they're both here, we have tabs that we can switch back and forth between the two. Now we can get rid of them using this little X here. We're not going to do that right now. But you notice the attribute editor has these tabs at the top. It has all kinds of extra stuff that channel box doesn't. So that's those. We're going to come back to them in a second. But for the moment here, let's look at this button in the middle that we've skipped. And this middle button actually opens a window that by default is docked on the other side of the screen called Tool Settings. We haven't really used that very much. That's used a lot for organic type modeling, things like that, stuff where you're coming in and modifying what tools do and how they function and react, and some things that have sort of graduations in how they work. And you see the second title up there called Soft Selection. We're going to be talking a lot about that in a little bit. and some of the other things. And different tools will bring different sections up into that. So that's that. Turn it on, turn it off. Screen real estate is kind of an issue with as many tools as Maya has. So, this is a program that many people who use this quite a bit have multiple monitors set up, and these windows can largely be detached and placed in different places. And you can never have too much screen real estate. So that's how it works. If you're a numbers person, you're going to tend to like to specify things over here. If not, you're going to use some of the tools that you find across the top and the left. So, it's just a matter of personal style. One more thing I wanted to mention about the similarities between the channel box and the attribute editor has to do with these sections down at the bottom, these lines at the bottom of the channel box here where it says inputs. This is roughly equivalent to some of these tabs across the top of the attribute editor and some of the things that you can get to from these other tabs here. We're not going to go into this in detail right now, but just something to keep in the back of your mind, that lower section of the channel box tends to be a lot more valuable later on when you get into more sophisticated things than you might realize right now. So just keep that in mind, and know that, again, the attribute editor and the channel box are almost redundant. Very much similar things on one as finding on the other, just formatted a little bit different. A few more things in the attribute editor than in the channel box, but largely overlapping. So that's it, and we'll see you in the next video.